Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Eumans weekly meeting, and thanks for being here tonight. So for tonight, the goal of the meeting is to get ready for the launch of the key initiative that we identified after the Congress in Warsaw, which is the appeal for Ukraine in the European Union and citizenship rights for the Ukrainian citizens. It's of course, it's an important initiative that needs to be launched very, very quickly. I would like to ask Marco to introduce from a political perspective the meeting tonight, also because I'm a bit overwhelmed by the operational part of the launch of the appeal. So maybe if Marco can contextualize the initiative, then I can walk you through how the appeal is structured, how we will interact with other groups and organizations, and we will open up the floor. But maybe if Marco can make a bit of an intro from the broader perspective, then I will go into the details of the appeal and the initiative in itself, if it's fine for him. Marco?
Can you hear me?
Very low?
Very low?
Now good. Now
okay.
Good.
Okay, thank you very much. And good evening to all. I would start from the nature of humans. The nature of humans as a movement acting through participatory democracy is not to give an ideological stance on the war, or even just to express a position. Of course, any and each of us carries his or her own convictions. And I think that what we have in common is to clearly define face to a war of aggression, who is the aggressor and who is and which part is in a way the aggressor. So basically, and also the value of the international law and the need to prosecute war crimes and crimes against humanity, which are carrying on under the initiative of the Putin's regime. But of course, we are not needed too much to express those positions that are that I would say, fortunately, are already expressed by the democratic leaders in Europe and in the US and in Canada and around the world, and are so well represented by the resistance embodied by President Zelensky of Ukraine. What we could do, and the ground on which our contribution can be a value added to this situation, is the involvement of citizens. And the involvement of citizens, not in the war scenario, because there is a matter for the war scenario is a matter for soldiers and for weapons. Not on diplomacy, because there is a matter for governments and diplomats. But the civic participation in designing institutional solutions. The idea of the adhesion, of speeding up the adhesion of Ukraine in the European Union, is exactly that, is to express a priority for the rule of law and democracy as the reason the first and main reason to in a way to decide the nature of European Union itself. Of course, technically speaking, all the experts are against, in a way, all those who are dealing with the issue of the enlargement of the European Union under technical consideration of all the parameters that in this case and the long process through which government needs to go through in order to adhere to the European Union. Of course, if you consider this under technical terms, there is no way one could speed up the process of adhesion. What we are asking is a new political revolution, which is not talking only about Ukraine, it's talking about the European Union itself, the nature of European Union, and also of the other countries that are asking to become members of the European Union. This is why around this proposal of the immediate adhesion of Ukraine to the European Union, we would like to unite group of citizens, starting from Ukrainian citizens, of course, and some of them are already on board with us, thanks to the connection that Virginia is building, but also political parties, organizations, NGOs, members of parliaments, all around Europe, in order to make this proposal not just a naive or a utopistic proposal, but a real political card to be played now in order to strengthen the chance for peace, as we said during the Congress, for a sustainable peace. So not just a peace based on prevailing military, but the peace built on the grounds of rule of law, democracy, and democratic principles. So this is why, of course, we have a broad agenda for Eumans that we discussed at the Congress, but and we are working on those aspects. Andrea Salimbeni prepared already important documents on the energy transition and climate change, but we have this urgent priority of trying to involve civic participation in an institutional political proposal and solution for the actual crisis. So this is why we are, and especially Virginia, I'm not doing much, but Virginia has worked as a crazy during these days in order to accelerate the possibility of going online with a multilingual appeal to be signed by European and also non-European citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, Marco, for the essential contextualization of the initiative, of course, because also the policy of enlargement of the European Union, it wasn't among the mission goals of Eumans when we started, but as it often happens, reality forces us to act. To open up the debate, what's the topic of tonight is how we can strengthen the network of support of the appeal. And I know that there are a lot of Italians based in Italy here. I think this is a great opportunity for trying to involve communities of not Italians in Italy in this phase of the launch. So I think also to adapt to the people that we are. We know that Eumans exist because of what every single activist can do. So my suggestion is how we bring up the European Italy in Italy, for example. So how we can connect with the Ukrainian community in Italy, the communities of the other member states, and so forth and so on. But in general, of course, let's have a broader discussion, thinking that we can do amazing magical things, but we can only do what we have the strength and the resources to do. So less miracle and more reality politics. I want to just say a few words about how the campaign is structured and which will be the first step. So let me just share my screen so I can show you the website, which also is a representation of the approach that we have. So there are, it's not live yet, it's gonna be live. So as you know, there might be many appeal on the same request. So first of all, what makes our appeal difference is the fact that we ask for two things. One is the immediate accession of Ukraine to the European Union and citizenship rights for Ukrainians in collaboration with ACID Foundation, which is here in the office. We're going to have also a position paper on how the European citizenship can function, particularly in relationship with the European Union, and also with Emilio De Capitani, who some of you met at the Congress. We are working on how the new directive of the European Union for refugees, the temporary emergency, temporary protection directive, can somehow open up the way for this idea. I want to remind us that this idea of the citizenship comes directly from the request of some of the Ukrainian students in Warsaw that we met at the Congress, that wrote a letter to Eumans that is published also on the website with the specific request of adding the citizenship element in the appeal. So the website is in English, but we're going to have available the translations of the appeal in the languages that we can cover. It's super short, but then it includes the explanatory statement, which was written by Lorenzo Mineo and has a focus on some additional requests of sustainable peace, starting from the sortition-based citizen assemblies for the most relevant issues that are now on the table, so the EU defense policy, as well as the energetic policy, and also the need of a referendum eventually for approving the enlargement. Maybe Lorenzo can elaborate on that. But the real focus is the appeal. It can be signed by people from anywhere in the world, so it's not only, it can only be signed by European citizens. What I'm asking to the people that support, is going to take a bit to get them, is to have short videos, 1-minute videos of citizens, activists, representative of organizations, representatives of the institutions that endorse the proposal. I encourage also us eventually to try and maybe say a few words in English on the why this appeal is important. I think it gives more personality and a citizen's spirit to the initiative. And then the organizations that are promoting the appeal. And I'm happy that we have here tonight Klaus from the Unconditional Basic Income ECI, because it's another way of engaging in European politics, and it's another way to strengthen the relationship that we had. And I asked Klaus if he can help us to make circulate the appeal also in the other member states where UBI has a presence. I think this can be very important. And we have the letter of the Ukrainian students that I think is particularly important. The idea of this section, Statements for Ukraine Now, is that maybe we can host other type of contributions to the goal, and show that there is real people with real needs that want this. And of course, the fundraising part of the initiative, which can help to fund. Eumans is promoting this. It costs money to promote initiatives. So the money that we're able to collect, it can help us not only to increase the reach of the appeal, but also to organize maybe more meaningful actions, direct actions here in Poland, in Ukraine, wherever, but like to give spirit and body to this initiative. So this is the website. We are trying to launch it in a basic version maybe tomorrow, and then a few words on the official launch. On the 29th of March, so Tuesday, I'm contributing to the organization of an event here in Brussels with Citizens Take Over Europe, European Alternatives, Stand Up for Europe, and ESIT Foundation. It's going to be organized in a space near the European Parliament, close to our office. And the event will have some participants from the Ukrainian civil society in Brussels, some members of the European Parliament, and some civil society organization. It's called the United European Citizens for Ukraine. And basically, it's going to be online and offline, but we will gather the voices of the Ukrainian community, of course, and then myself and Ophélie Masson, that some of you met in Warsaw during the Congress, we will present some of the proposals collected in Warsaw from the civil society. So Eumans is bringing the political follow-up of the Eumans Congress. I think this is quite important. And then myself, I will facilitate the session with the MEPs. So it's a good opportunity for us to have an official presentation of the appeal in Brussels. The event can be followed online and offline, and it's of course an instrument of dialogue with the first MEPs that we want to involve in the initiative. Then after that, of course, more will be done, but I wanted to make sure that everyone has an idea of what we were able to put together in these weeks afterwards. So the floor is open for discussion on the appeal, of course, but also on direct actions that each one can do to increase the network of support with this citizen spirit that is unique compared to similar initiatives. The appeal will be also transformed into a petition to the European Parliament that, of course, we will try to speed up as much as we can with the interlocution that we have. So it's not only an appeal, but it's also an activation of that instrument, that is the petition that we already used at least twice with Eumans. And it's a good way to get a seat at the table and potentially activate the European Parliament for some immediate follow-up on this request that, of course, is not an invention of Eumans, but we can help to be that bridge between the citizens and the European institutions. So that's how the campaign is structured, and I'm happy to open the floor for the debate for, as I said, ideas, direct actions, direct activations. I think for those of you who are in Italy, I want to reiterate this. We can use this opportunity to open conversations with Europeans or not Italians in Italy, which is another way to grow Eumans as a pan-European movement of popular initiative. Thanks. The floor is for everyone. I put here the link of the website. Please don't share it because it's not the official link, it's still the working link, but everyone can have a look on how it's organized, structured, and also the type of messages that we are working on. I see an hand from Lorenzo, Mineo.
Yeah, maybe in the meantime that we see if there is any reaction, I can elaborate a bit about the appeal we draw. I think that it's very important the message where we are promoting Ukraine now, because as Virginia and Marco were saying, there is already, fortunately, a widespread movement for peace and asking to stop the war, luckily. But now I think it's a time also for further request. There is a request, a formal request from Ukraine to become a EU member. Usually, in normal condition, the procedure to accept an EU member takes several months or years, let's say years. In this case, we think that it would be a very important sign of openness and inclusiveness from Europe, given the ongoing war, to speed up the procedure and accept Ukraine as an EU member. This would have not only a symbolical value, but even a political value, because even if one of the consequences of the end of the war will probably be the renounce from Ukraine to enter in the NATO. Well, at least entering the EU would mean to become part of a broader family, which with shared value on rule of law, on democracy, and the value that are the basis of the EU treaties. So even if one of the consequences probably of the war would be to renounce to become part of the Occidental alliance, military alliance, let's say, give the political signal to be part of a democratic family such as the EU, I think it's something that would have a very, very important meaning. So this is the most immediate request from the appeal, and the art of our request. The appeal is very brief, so it's really focused on that point and on giving EU citizenship to Ukrainian refugees. But there is a broader part in the explanatory statement. Our approach, the Eumans approach, the one that was also in the demonstration in Warsaw 2 weeks ago, it's the one of participatory democracy, even on such important issue such as the war. We think that there are several points in recommendation from the Conference on the Future of Europe, for instance, the request of a joint army, European joint army, or for instance, the request of an autonomous energy policy from for Europe. We think that these broader reforms should be part of a European Citizen Assembly or a European referendum, because the Conference of the Future of Europe is also requesting to institutionalize those two direct democracy, participatory democracy instruments at European level. So the request of the appeal, it's very easy, even I mean, if it's not easy to achieve this objective. But in the explanatory statement, we also have some broader request for long-term reforms. So this is basically the proposal.
Thank you, Lorenzo. I'm silent because I don't want to overwrite your voices, so please take the floor. I see some new people as well, so welcome Igor, welcome Alberto, who came a few times, Riccardo. Like, feel free to say whatever you want. It's an open meeting, so there is no reason to be shy. Or if you have questions, comments. Miriam.
Yes, my English is not so fluent. I just want to say something to, you know, because I hate the silence in the meeting. I just can say what can I do in the next days. I will try to contact the Ukrainian community because we have some links with some leader of Ukrainian community in Rome, I mean. So I will do this. That's it.
Very good. Maybe a suggestion to look for contacts and groups for Miriam and in general is if there were demonstrations organized in your cities for the peace, against the war, etc. Maybe the list of organization they might include, I mean, Italian, which of course we are not becoming racist with Italians, but also maybe also some Russian groups that are against the war or some other groups. So maybe having a look on website or Facebook events or stuff related to the recent wave of demonstrations can be a good way to find who are the grassroots groups that are active, and can be just really sending one line saying this is the appeal, if you want to share it, or get a 1-minute video statement or something like the letter of the students. We can offer this as a space to bring the voices of those who are in favor. So, I mean, I will tell you when the link is shareable, but maybe start to think about who are the groups is already helpful. If someone doesn't want to do something but doesn't know what to do, we have good databases of email addresses, mayors of European cities, representations of member states in Brussels, embassies. So if someone doesn't know what to do but has time to do, let me know and we can give you access to the different databases, and we can organize the email outreach. So for the more practical and less creative in this sense. Okay. Klaus, please.
Perhaps one information which is a long-term information. We consider this pan-European association which are established, for example, also for our own purpose of UBI in the future. If our ECI is over on 25th of June, then how to proceed? And there perhaps we want to use your possibility for these for the purpose of security, of freedom, and such things to go in your thing further on. Also, we have worldwide strategy roundtables in the country, UVIE at the moment, Europe, and Worldwide Basic Income Earth Network. But UBIE is not so strong in my opinion, your organization now. So we would perhaps give our possibility to bring an unconditional basic income in reality over your group in the future, perhaps, if you help us.
Thank you, Klaus. I think the debate on the unconditional basic income, it definitely needs to be discussed more. And in the meantime, we are super happy to collaborate, also the connection for the Usign Day and everything that can be. I think that can be a good opportunity also to relaunch the collection of signatures. I'm gonna put in the chat the article that the UBI team, Unconditional Basic Income team, wrote to explain their presence in Warsaw. I think it's a good. It's good also to hear from those who see in Eumans a possibility of action, the reasons why, and also the reasons why we were in Warsaw. One practical thing, Klaus, I don't know if as you have seen, the text of the appeal is very short. I don't know if you can help us to get some translations of that in other languages. Maybe I was thinking about Ali, who is based in Turkey, or in German yourself. Like if you can help us to increase the number of languages that there is a translation for the appeal. It's a really quick thing for a native speaker, and it can really help the campaign. So if you can help us with that, will be not all the website, just the 5, the title and the 5 lines of the appeal.
Exactly. Just after our meeting, I have a meeting with Ali.
Grande. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And one of the interesting thing of the unconditional basic income initiative is that it's beyond the European Union border. So also the Turkish group is very active for the European Citizen Initiative in itself. I think it's another interesting perspective. Antonia, Tonina Cordedda, che publicly presented as Antonia, so I introduce her as Antonia Cordedda, Eumans member since the Congress. Non so se col microfono ti posso aiutare, Tonina. I can't open your microphone, but tell me somehow if you have troubles. Or maybe you can send a WhatsApp to Marco. Okay, whilst Tonina tries to connect, Andrea Salimbeni.
Can I say something? Should I
Sì,
wait?
sì, stavo dicendo, Andrea, whilst we wait for Tonina.
Okay. No, mine is a question about the appeal. So what we expect, because I mean, it is good to use it for disseminating humans and the activities and collecting, of course, adhesion. The question which I expect is how we expect to transform the appeal once we collected the signatures, or in any case the support by citizens. So how we expect to present and to whom, what is the pathway towards that?
That depends very much on the results, I think, because if, for example, within the European Parliament, if the appeal is succeeding in creating a good coalition, cross-party coalition, for sure in the coming weeks, the European Parliament will vote many resolutions and texts on the war. And this is true for every and each parliament around Europe. So basically, if we succeed in gathering a good support from citizens, then parliaments would be the first interlocutor to whom try to address the proposal. And of course, there is also a more general cultural disseminating work, because if we succeed in having some media coverage, in particular on civil society leaders taking position in favor of the adhesion, that could have an impact on the political debates.
Okay.
Okay, still see the end of Tonina. I don't know if she sorted the issue with the microphone. And I also wrote her on WhatsApp to see what's happening.
One comment I can make on Andrea's point, maybe in the meantime, is that we have a successful example. I mean, with the You Can Do It, we started during an emergency with this appeal for health reform in the EU, and then we achieved to transform it in a European petition, so to formally submit it to the European Parliament with Virginia's presentation in the Petty Committee. So if we can manage to achieve the same success in this very beginning, maybe this can be the road.
Yeah, I think one decision to make is if we want to present it as a petition immediately to the parliament, or if first we want to start to get a bit of support to the appeal and then submit it officially as a petition. Sorry, in the meantime, I'm trying to connect with Tonina. Okay, maybe, no.
I will, on this point that you raised, Virginia, first of all, I would start with the collection of signatures just to understand what's the reaction. If there are quick, effective channels of reproducing and disseminating the appeal, then the petition could have some strong signatories in every and each European countries. But at the same time, we cannot wait too much. So I think I will give to us around 1 week time in order to understand if the list of first signatories can be reinforced and may become more transnational and effectively pan-European. So it would be important that thanks to the launch of the appeal, we gather some signatures in every European country and then to table the petition, but not wait too much, because we know that petitions are not immediately discussed by the parliament, so we will not wait too much to do that.
Thank you, Marco. Paola is leaving. Simone, I don't know if your microphone is open because you want to say something. Maybe not. Okay, let me just try to call Tonina because maybe she wants to speak. Okay, no, technology is against us apparently. Okay, so I mean, unless there are other comments, I don't know if Lorenzo, you want to update on the Italian initiatives situation since we have the ongoing signature collection for Cittadini per il Clima or other things. I think maybe it's a good moment to I mean, since it's the Eumans meeting, if you want to update on that.
Yes, basically, the most smart move in this moment is to rebrand a little bit the initiative on the institutionalization of citizen assembly in Italy, Cittadini per il Clima, to focus it on energy policy, because this is a national and European debate how to reform the energy policy given the situation with gas in Russia. And so basically this is the general idea for the content of the campaign. Regarding the next event and initiative, we are starting to have discussion in universities. So we said many times that universitarian students are the most appropriate public to talk about citizen initiative and probably find new people who could be interested in be active for the campaign or for Eumans in general. We had this first meeting with Marco Cappato at Università Statale in Milan, and several will follow. We have opportunities in Bologna and Milan in April, and I think we should multiply this kind of exchange on the campaign. So this is also an appeal for you. If you have any universitarian contact and you can activate it, this is the moment. So yes, these are the main update I have right now.
Thank you, Lorenzo. So I'll now give the floor to Tonina Cordedda from the phone. So, vai Tonina.
Okay, hello everyone. I apologize for the difficulties. I wasn't able to activate the microphone. Sorry about that. Just to say that I'm very happy to talk, just to spend a few words about, first of all, I came this movement because I have high consideration for the two presidents. I know Marco Cappato already many years, and he's a good friend. And again, I still his initiative. Sometimes I understand everything, sometimes no, less. But I trust about his outlook, his approach in politics. And about Virginia, actually one day, a few months ago, I told her that her voice is like a sun, because she's very bright, she's very, and so thanks for this initiative, and then I will follow. Maybe I'm not able to be active like you, but I absolutely approve. I approve also this initiative about Ukraine, because I think it's very important. I think it's important to give a chance. I give him to provide new opportunities to the Ukrainian people that has been so much touched from this war. And nothing, I will be with you in, I don't know, in how we can be helpful, but I'm here in any case. I think it's very important to this initiative. I know there are many other countries, not many, but few countries that are waiting to become member of the European Union, but I think Ukrainian needs some special decision. There is urgent decision. And I'm very happy that the Italian Prime Minister, in one important event in the Parliament, he promote this idea. And I really hope that he is going to be a voice in internal Council, European Union Council, about this initiative. But I know that many things are affected by the real politics. And at the beginning, I wasn't sure about this initiative, because I was worried about the future of the Ukrainian, in the sense if Russia won this war, and so Ukraine was going to be defeated, there was a risk to have Ukraine in the European Union like not really welcome protagonist, because I always try to imagine that like Ukraine was going to be like Belarus. So in this case, Marco told me in case he's going to be expulsed, he's going to be invited to go away, to be refused. But I don't know. By the way, this is very important. I will be with you, and I don't know how, but if I can help for this initiative, I will be happy to do that. Thanks for everyone, and
thank you, Tonina. Thank you, Tonina. I already have an idea for you, which is that because Tonina is connected from the UK, and UK is a country where people used to be citizens of the European Union and are not anymore, and it used to be in the European Union, it's not anymore. And actually the idea of citizenship associated to living in a state that is not a member state really ramped up after the Brexit referendum as an opportunity for the UK citizens. So I think, I don't know, Tonina, if you want to try to maybe find some supporters for the appeal in UK, like they can be people that you have in mind, civil society organizations, groups, but maybe you can help us in this sense, like being the Eumans in the UK that spread the appeal as a form of creating a European...
You mean, let me understand, you mean in the sense to find new person that will have interested to become member of this movement, or to persuade British people to become to regain the European Union?
No, I think at the moment we keep it simple. So like sharing with people in the UK the appeal for Ukraine in the European Union, but also as a form of like those that still believe in the European Union being Europeans. I think it can be a target. I don't know if
something we can talk about. In UK, it's quite particular at the moment because there is a lot of interest to help the Ukrainian people from the free initiative from the British people. The British government provides a lot of weapons, but really to help the Ukrainian people leave this to free initiative for the British citizen. So
I'll send you the materials. But it can be an idea in the meantime. Okay, I don't know if you can follow from Zoom, so I can.
Bye everyone.
Thank you. Ciao Tonina. Thank you. Okay, back. Okay. Gabriele, Luciano, and then Igor, Drochak. You will tell me first.
I guess there is Igor first.
Okay, so... Igor.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you. This is my first time at your meetings, and so I introduce myself. I'm Igor Drochak from Naples. I organized a sit-in in Naples on February 27th. I'm active with regard to material aid of the sanitary type and clothing in Naples. I have family members in Ukraine, so it's a difficult time for me. And I think this situation was a neglected situation since 2013, and we need a single, I think, a European army and everything necessary to avoid being blackmailed by Putin. And it's all.
Thank you. Can I ask you what you think about the appeal, the idea of Ukraine in the European Union, and also if you know what, since this is a topic that is going, I mean, it's becoming popular. So if from a Ukrainian perspective is something that you see there is an interest, like what's the perception among the Ukrainians for this idea of Ukraine in the European Union?
Ukrainian want to become a European citizen from since 2012, but now it's more difficult. But people they want to join.
Thank you. If you want to help us to spread the appeal in the networks that you are working with, also for the humanitarian support, this will be very helpful. Thank you. Gabriele, Luciano.
Yes, thank you, Virginia. My question is actually much more superficial, or maybe on the communication side for humans, because I was just wondering what is the role for humans of the governmental endorsement that some government, like Italian one, did on made on this kind of statement, like Ukraine in the EU. So I was wondering, how should humans relate and address this political endorsement for its appeal? I mean, should we make a connection and saying, guys, let's sign this appeal like that is supported even by governments, or should we keep it on the citizen aspect? And I don't know, because I was wondering about this relationship, because for me it's a big thing that even government, national government of the EU made these kind of statements. So maybe we should even think how to link our appeal to those kind of endorsements. I don't know, what do you think about it?
If I can answer on this point, well, government, well, first of all, our appeal doesn't exist until when we will have collected an important amount and quality of signatures. So there is no point for Draghi or for Morawiecki or for the other head of government who have supported the proposal of the adhesion of Ukraine in the EU to relate with a completely, non-existent and marginal initiative. In order to conquer the possibility of having a relationship with government, we have to become something relevant. And after we will become relevant, then we can try to have contact with the government supporting the proposal, trying to have the political parties supporting those government to support the proposal. But first of all, we have to launch the proposal. It's a little bit too early to imagine a way of connecting with government, even because they have their own access to media. I mean, the speech from Draghi went everywhere. So by now he doesn't need to relate with us. He could need, and other could need to relate with us if we will become able to let grow a civil society and civic support to this proposal. Then we will become one of the players, but by now we are not one of the players yet.
Thank you, Marco, also for the realism, which is very important at this new phase of Eumans. We need to be practical, realistic, and proactive. So I'd say that the next meeting is next Thursday. The appeal will be launched between tomorrow and Monday. As soon as it's live, you will, of course, receive everything. If you have specific ideas on how to reach citizens, communities, groups, please let me know. Or use the channels, Slack, Agora, Telegram. And if you have some time, I don't know how to help, let us know, because there is a lot of ways to help, particularly with the appeal. So thanks everyone, and see you next Thursday.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you.